Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. See what? On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me and a partridge in a pear tree. See what? On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me Fanta and Katia, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me God's on your website.
It's the 22nd of December 2023, days to Christmas. Hello and welcome to Join News at 6 with me, Bernice Abubeidulansa. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, Hits 103.9 FM here in Accra, affiliates across Ghana including Gaskia 105.5 FM in Techiman, and worldwide at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, jostling for leadership positions in the next parliament begins.
If you look at this past election, you look at the strong basis of the NDC. It's in the central, it's in the western, it's in the western north. These are things that must be considered. The front bench must reflect the power basis.
From MP for Lembele, who is demanding changes to the current minority front. But not everyone agrees, and NDC intensifies its push for re-collation of Techiman South Constituency parliamentary results, insisting the party's candidate won the election.
Peace Council, Christian Council, to note that this is something that has just started small, and we expect that if they don't come in, something bad could happen in Techiman. It's not a trend, but
they've said notice protests will continue there until the EC declares in their favor. Meanwhile, national organizer of the governing NPP says the street protest by the NDC over the 2020 election results is dangerous for the country's democracy.
This thing has gone on beyond a week, including yesterday's protest. The path they've chosen, you can give adventurers the opportunity in future to also reject maybe a sweet victory of yours.
And in business, some market analysts push for government intervention to help cushion consumers over the projected increase in prices of petroleum products.
We'll also tell you about the Joy 9 lessons and carols held Monday night to usher you into the festive season.
Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one horse.
We've got details in a moment. Leadership positions in the next parliament has begun, with NDC MP for Elembele, Kofi Boah, demanding changes to the current minority front bench. He says it's about time Western, North and Central regions are given seats in the front bench of the minority because they constitute the base of the party in parliament now. Currently, the Northern, Ashanti, Volta, Greater Accra and Budu regions are represented in the minority's leadership. Mr. Boah says the leadership must reflect the regions where the party is strongest.
The members of parliament must actively participate in the selection of our front bench. I mean, if you look at this past election, you look at the strong basis of the NDC. It's in the central, it's in the western, it's in the western north. These are things that must be considered, and I believe that the front bench must reflect our party structure, must reflect the power basis, must reflect the win we have brought. And I believe that the party must do that and make sure that we work together and have a strong presence in parliament.
NDC MP for Elembele, Kofi Boah there, but the NDC MP for Sine West, Kwame Chumesi Ampofo, says the current leadership is fine.
Oh, I'm expecting that 8th Parliament to be a tough Parliament. It's going to be hot. It's going to be consensus building. And so I believe and I trust that things will move on well. Sure. It's not going to be that easy.
Did you get a sense the current leadership with the minority is up to it, or some changes, some energy should be brought into how you guys are doing your work at the level of
the current, if you talk of current leadership, to me, I think it's okay, but maybe certain things need to be done right.
MP for Sene West Kwame Trumesi for speaking to parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opukugakpo there. Now, the NDC has served notice its protest in the Techiman South Constituency will continue until the Electoral Commission declares the results in their favour. The party says it won the polls by more than 700 votes, despite the Electoral Commission's declaration that the MPP's Martin J. Mensah Kosa won. NDC parliamentary candidate for the area, Christopher Bere, says they won't give up.
The whole world stakeholders, Peace Council, Christian Council, to note that this is something that has just started small, and we expect that if they don't come in, something bad could happen in Techiman. It's not a trend, but that's the reality.
I'm interested in that. So then, what would happen if these demands are not...
As we speak now, there's a demonstration in Techiman, isn't it? Yes, and that will not end. I mean, we're not going to allow the fact that you don't do coalition, and then you bring in military to kill our people after burying the deaf. You still insist that you are going to take power by force. This is not a military regime. How many MPP people died of that? So we insist that the right thing be done, and we'll fight it till the latter end. If we do not fight this time, next time somebody will get up and then use the same military system to take power.
You heard that the NDC parliamentary candidate for Techiman South, Christopher Bere. Meanwhile, Minority Leader in Parliament, Haruna Idrisu, says the Electoral Commission's handling of the contest is setting a bad precedent which will allow future incumbent governments to abuse the nation's democracy the same way.
We are standing in denial by a collusion of fraud by the Electoral Commission and the New Patriotic Party. They didn't win Techiman. How come that they could collate and recollate Banda 4 times and cannot collate Techiman? It is only in Nana Addo Dankwa's Ghana what the presidents were certain that a resource is declared. Political parties don't have access to the declared resource. You are not seeing that as a grave threat to multi-party constitutional democracy. I worry tomorrow I'll just declare Tamale South won, Haruna. You ask me of results, I say go to regional director, go to district director. Is that what you want?
Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu there. Well, the Minority Caucus in Parliament has served notice it will march to the Electoral Commission's office today in protest of the outcome of the 2020 presidential elections. This is still your election headquarters. Stay with us for details of that and all matters election related. Now, the national organizer of the governing MPP, Sami Ewuku, has described the street protests by the opposition NDC as dangerous to the country's democracy. He impressed upon former President John Mahama to emulate the actions of President Akufo-Addo after he lost the 2012 presidential elections. Mr. Ewuku believes the conduct of the NDC may open the gates for parties in future to resort to violence in the wake of electoral defeat. He spoke to my colleague Emefa Apawu.
When the results were announced, it is normal that you have supporters who are so expectant that their candidate was going to win. It didn't end up that way for them. They become emotional. They jump on the street. They become unruly. But that should not go beyond 48 hours. My thinking, it shouldn't. So as quickly as possible, leadership should then take the opportunity to say, look, we know you are upset, you have your reservations, you believe that we should have won this election, or you believe we won this election. But the best way for us to go about it, let's make sure that we do the right thing. Calm down, support us in prayers, support us with your courage, gather all the evidence you think that we might need and we will need. Come to us, let's audit it, let's proceed to court.
That's national organizer of the governing NPP, Sami Ewuku. And Monday night, your superstation, Joy 99.7 FM, ushered you into the festive season with our Joy 9 lessons and carols. Here are highlights of the event.
And that was was the curtain raiser for the Joy 9 lessons and carols. The harmonious chorale blessed the audience with beautiful renditions of your favorite Christmas carol.
To Adam he said, because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree